Hello, welcome back. I'm Jonathan Farley. I'm keeping my voice down because I'm on a filming set and just waiting to start filming. The goal for this year was to get monetized on YouTube, and I didn't know how long that was going to take. I knew that I had to get my 1,000 subscribers and my 4,000 watched hours, so I just started to produce stuff, random things. There wasn't a topic for the channel, there wasn't a focus. I just did the things that interested me to see how they were received. But basically, it was to learn how to make videos. I've been making videos on social media for 3 years, and this has been the first time I've really done YouTube properly. I was overwhelmed at the start because as soon as I lifted the lid, I realised how important things like thumbnails, description, title, hook, captions, chapters, your hashtags, your tags, your the way you describe the video, the SEO. Oh my god, the whole thing is a minefield. And yes, it is. All those things are important, and all those things are more important than they are on Instagram and TikTok. But you learn it as you go. I'm still learning. I think I'm probably only about 30 or 40% of the way through the learning journey. But even so, even with that very imperfect setup, I've learned so much and I've come so far this year. I've now got about 12,500 subscribers. It's about £1,500 a month. It's practically the equivalent of a full-time salary just from YouTube, which is absolutely amazing. What I'm going to share with you is, it sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and this is the reason for sharing it now, because I want to say, I told you so. Not I told you so, I told you so. So when I first got monetized on YouTube, I made £3 on my first day, and I showed my friends and I said, look at that, I've been monetized. They said, oh, how much have you earned? I said, £3. I have never ever been more excited to earn £3 in my life, because I knew it was the start of something that could be life-changing. I made an Excel spreadsheet. I did days down the left, and I had my £3 on day one, and I said, what I want to do, because for a long time, in terms of personal development, in terms of improvement, in terms of how to become a better person, I am a follower of the 1% rule. Just make a 1% change. A 1% change is like, flying a plane. Move your course by 1 degree and you end up in a different country. It's the same thing. 1%, you're only making tiny incremental improvements. And I thought, if I could improve everything by 1% a day, 1% better thumbnails, 1% better titles, 1% better at presenting, 1% better sound, 1% better lighting, set design, scenery, everything, if I can just improve on everything by 1% a day. So it's not an overnight massive shift, it's a 1%, it's a gradual shift. Every time I learn, every time I watch somebody else's video and I think, oh, that's a good way of doing that, or I like the way they did that, or that camera angle was interesting, or they've used a 2-camera setup, I think I'll try that. Every time you get another idea and you implement that, everything is improving it by 1%. And I plotted a graph in my spreadsheet of, what if I earn £3 today, and £3 plus 1% tomorrow, plus 1% the next day. So you're literally £3, £3 and 3 pence, £3 and 6 pence, £3 and 9 pence. It's a really slow, you would say, well, yeah, great, you're earning 3 pence more every day, that's not going to pay the bills. The compound effect of that 1% every day is absolutely astronomical. My first month I made £80, my second month I made £150, third month was 300, fourth month was 600, and it's literally doubled every month. So this month I'll make about £1,500. That's from May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's now, obviously, you can't, that graph cannot continue indefinitely. I know that. I'm not naive, but if I'm trusting the process and carrying on with my 1%, I'm only doing 1 or 2 videos a week. As I say, I'm not spending a huge amount of time doing them. They're quite long, which helps on YouTube. You get people who are interested and they will stick with it for the whole video. and my retention rates are very good because people, it's a thing that has a process and people want to see the outcome of the process. So the subject matter is good, but this idea of the 1% improvement, the 1% better every day. Like if somebody said to me in January, I want you to have 12,500 subscribers by November, by the end of November, I would say, what, 1,000 subscribers extra every month? Impossible. I'm getting 1 or 2 new subscribers every day, and you do those, I may get 3 subscribers, 4 subscribers, 5 subscribers, and they compound, they grow and they grow and they grow, and I'm now getting between 150 and 300 new subscribers every day. That's the first step, is telling yourself and convincing yourself that this is possible, this can happen to you as well. Okay, yes, I'm at 12,000, I'm not at 1million, I'm not in proper life-changing territory yet, but just imagine that continues for the next year and where that will be. You are literally talking life-changing money in a potential in a year's time. Now, what makes it doable is the utter enjoyment of every single video. So even though I've said you can earn life-changing money, the best advice I was given was ignore the money. If you're doing it for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Do it because you love what you're doing, and the money will come as and when it's destined to come. If you do something with passion, you will inevitably resonate with your audience out there that have the same passion for the same subject as you have. Now, the reason it's going to take so long is it takes time for YouTube to find your audience. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait and trust the process. You'll get a few followers, you'll get a few comments and a few views, and yeah, it's a bit soul destroying when you start off and you've put 4 hours into a video and you've had 10 views and your soul just dies a little bit. Stick with it. My best advice would be, don't spend 4 hours. Find something that you can film that doesn't take 4 hours to plan. A process that you know well. How do you clean your car? How do you, what tips do you have for cleaning the oven? How do you, so everybody has something that they do well, and it doesn't matter what that is. You share it, it will find its natural audience. And for me, I've found that when I'm doing restorations on shoes and leather and belts and bags, people love those videos. I didn't expect that to be the case, because when I started on social media, I started with tying ties and folding pocket squares on Instagram and TikTok. And now I'm still doing those things, but they're popular on short form platforms, and the longer form on YouTube lends itself to something that's got more of a process, more of an arc to it. There's several steps to it, and people enjoy watching that evolution of the process. So there's different things for different platforms. But if you set out saying, I want to be a millionaire, you will run out of steam way before you hit the right curve. If you say, I'm going to make videos because I enjoy doing it, maybe it's because you want to document your own personal journey into doing whatever you do. I'm going to teach myself how to restore cars. I've never lifted the bonnet on a car in my life, and I'm going to restore a car, for example. And you bring people along on the journey, and people see you learning, they see you making mistakes, they see you looking vulnerable, they see you, they get invested in your story, and it then becomes something they want to follow along, because you're improving and you're constantly sharing the journey with your audience. And eventually people will learn that same skill by watching what you do. They may be inspired to do it themselves. They may just enjoy watching people taking something from scrap and turning it back to its former glory. There's any number of reasons why people watch these videos, but whatever it is, if you do it because you love producing content and you love sharing what you do, ignore the money and just let your community grow. In my experience, it takes about 6 months for YouTube to find who to push your content out to. And when it does, when it happens, it really starts to take off. If you're asking the question every day, when am I going to get paid? When am I going to get paid? I guarantee you'll run out of steam. If you're doing it as a diary, if you're doing it as a way of finding a small community online that you can share your content with, most people's first reaction when I say this is, but I don't have anything to share. There's nothing I'm good at. There's nothing I enjoy that much that I could share it on YouTube. If you're the sort of person that people say, oh, gosh, you're so hilarious, you should be on stage, just start recording things. Just start the funny thoughts that come into your head, record them. You don't have to publish them, just record them, upload them. Get used to that process of filming, editing, sorting out your lighting, sorting out the sound. Everything has a process, and those early stages, those early days when very few people are watching your content, that's your apprenticeship. That's when you are learning your craft. Nobody is born knowing this stuff automatically. You have to learn it. So these days, when you're getting 10, 20 views on a video, these are perfect. It's the perfect opportunity to learn how to do what you do. When you start to gain an audience and you start to be seen by more people, you'll find that your content is much more watchable. So not only is the content better, it's better presented, better edited, better captioned, easier to find. And if you do what I did and leave all the old stuff on, so you can remind yourself how your journey's gone and where you've come from. Some people delete the old stuff because they're embarrassed. Once they get quite good at it, they're embarrassed by the old stuff. I love looking at that old stuff and seeing just how far I've come in such a short space of time. What's something that you're good at? Just show the process. I've done ironing, shoe polishing, folding pocket squares, folding ties, cooking. You can clean things. You can polish brass. Whatever it is, there is something that you do either as a hobby or that you can learn to do by watching other people's YouTubes. It doesn't need to be a unique piece of content. There's no such thing as unique content. So what you have is that skill plus your personality. Combine them together and you've got unique content. That's all you need, because you will not understand until people have said, I love the way you say these things, I love your accents, I love how you come across on film, I love the way you explain things so clearly. Or I've seen so many people doing these things, I've seen so many people cooking a recipe and I can't follow along, but then as soon as I watch your videos, I understand how to do it. There will be something that you have, even if it's something that you don't know yet, that you have to learn, something that you like to learn, and you're bringing people along on your learning journey. It doesn't matter. Think of all the things you've bought online, all the things in the kitchen, your garage, gadgets for the house, clothes. Review them, open them up, review them. Trust me, when you start to dig deeper on what content actually is and what's available, there is so much that you could do. And just do random things. Start putting outfits together out of charity shop finds, out of things you bought on eBay, out of review random stuff you bought on Amazon. You review a gadget on Amazon and a link to that gadget on Amazon, somebody buys it, or with an affiliate link, somebody buys it, you get a small commission. Things like that. There's loads and loads of ways of doing these things. You could become a live streamer on a gaming for a game. But the point is, all you have to do is get 1% better every day and commit to it. Now, the thing I should say is, and something that's been I've been accused of, people say, well, it's easy for you because you've got the time to do it. Most people of my age will have a full-time job, a large mortgage, responsibilities, and they can't just simply pivot to a different career, a different life. And this is absolutely true. You need to stick to where you are for the time being. You need to do it old school. You need to train yourself up and basically run 2 jobs until your social media presence is starting to cover all of your costs. So this is why in the early stages it has to be a hobby, it has to be done as a hobby. Now there's nothing to say that you can't, while you're at work, start thinking about video ideas, start thinking about how you're going to put something together. If you like, when you first start, don't upload the videos. I would 100% start uploading the videos as soon as you've got something ready. Don't be embarrassed, because you need to get over that embarrassment. I'm going to upload this video, and there will be so much wrong with it that I probably shouldn't, but life's too short, you know. Just do it. Your next one will be better. You'll see the mistakes, you'll see the negative comments or whatever, you'll see the things that people say, oh, you know, that's not actually true. You know, well, right, okay, maybe next time I'll do a bit of research before I upload my video. Just do it. Just get into that rhythm, and you'll be amazed how quickly you can progress. So don't give up your day job just yet, because it's going to take a long time, and by that I mean possibly a year, 6 months to 12 months before you can start making money out of YouTube as a complete beginner. If you've done it once, then as somebody with some experience, you can probably shorten that down to 3 months probably. But by and large, say 6 to 12 months before you even start to make money, and then it will grow. So do it as a hobby. Now, when people say, but I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to, you know, I'm far too busy doing other things. I don't know what your life is like, but at the start of this year, now I've been playing 2 games on my phone. I've been playing Clash of Clans and Golf Clash for 10 years, more than. Clash of Clans probably for about, I don't know, 13 years probably, and I'd built up this big camp and upgraded all of my resources and my armies and everything in it. I had a great little setup, and I thought at the start of this year, 2025, I thought, how many hours, days, weeks, how much money have I put into learning this game and getting good at this game and networking within this game and finding people and learning strategy, learning how to have the perfect attack or have the perfect defensive structure for my camp, my village. I'm going to stop playing that now. Same with the golf. Exactly the same. You think, how many hours, how many days, how much money have I put into this game, and I'm paying them to do it. If I treat YouTube as a game, as something to learn the strategy, learn the rules of the game, watch the YouTube videos of people who have been there and done it, and learn how to do what they do, think of it as a game. But in this game, there's a prize, and the prize never stops. And you don't have to win the World Championships to win the prize. You just have to get a little bit better than you already are to start earning money. And then the better you are, the more money you earn, and think of that as being the prize for the game. So if you can dedicate the time that I would say, waste on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your games that you play online. Everybody has things in their life that they think of as hobbies that don't actually go anywhere. Now, I love a hobby. You can turn your hobby, if you have a hobby, you can turn your hobby into your YouTube channel. That's absolutely fantastic. It's when you have a hobby that's something like online gaming that's literally going nowhere. It's sucking the life out of you. You're paying to play that game, and you're getting, unless you become, you know, an online gaming superstar where you can win big prizes. Most people don't. On YouTube and on social media, these prizes, these earnings are within the reach of anybody who's got the desire to get them. So stop playing games, learn the strategy, just get started, find something that interests you. And you don't even need to put your face on camera. You're instantly more relatable if you put your face on camera, but there's nothing to say that you have to. If you want to do cooking, watch repairs, shoe polishing, I don't have to show my face. I could just show the shoes that I'm polishing. But I like to do it as a sort of TV show type thing. But seriously, I believe that a year from now, I'll be in life-changing territory. And a year ago, if you told me where I would be in 12 months' time, I'd have said that's absolute rubbish. That's pie in the sky. But if you look at my graph, my Excel spreadsheet, I'm actually ahead according to my Excel spreadsheet of my 1% a day, I should be earning about £35 a day by now. I'm now actually earning about £50 a day. So I'm ahead of my 1%. So that 2 years to becoming, a millionaire, as it were, is actually a bit shorter because I'm ahead of my 1% a day. Now, as I say, I don't know at what point that graph stops, or it levels out, or it dips. It could dip, I don't know. But the point is, it may not get to the millionaire stage. It may not get to the properly life-changing money. But for me, if I just even double where I am, that's life-changing. That is genuinely life-changing. Even if you get to the point where, for the sake of 3 or 4 hours work a week, you are earning enough to cover all your bills, and then that allows you to do something completely different. That's life-changing. You don't have to be earning enough to give you a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini. Life-changing is something that materially changes your life. It's as simple as that. Anyway, people have started drilling, and I think I'm gonna sign off. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.